Hi, my name is Savannah, and today my topic will be suicide rates among younger people and how this is hindering us from living a life pleasing to God, because we are forgetting that we are special and made with a purpose. So my goal is to inform my audience of how suicide is a problem and to remind them that kindness is a good solution, one of the reasons being that it promotes remembrance that we are special and we are made in the image of God. A lot of people think to themselves, I feel useless, what am I even doing with my life? Which is something that we shouldn't beat ourselves up over, but it is not something we should dwell on, because God gave us a life to live for Him, to glorify Him, and to also minister to others who do feel lost as a result of our sin. Coming from being a teenager into adulthood, I can definitely say that I've thought to myself, what am I even doing with my life? It's not something that I should dwell on though, because I remember that deciding where I go to college or what I major in is all part of God's plan, and I should pray and rely on Him instead of being just dwelling on the feeling of being lost. Suicide and the thoughts that come with the decision are something that need to be stopped in our society today, because we need to remember that we have the redemptive love of God, and we need constant reminder that we do serve a purpose to our Creator through our life and what we do with it. Some of the main points I will be making today are the suicide rates becoming higher in younger people, why we are seeing this, and what causes this sad reality. And then we will also follow it up with what we can do to fix this problem as Christ followers. So, suicide rates are starting to jump higher in younger Americans. According to a poll from the CDC, the suicide rate from ages 10 to 12 increased 62% from 2007 to 2021, and the largest annual increase was from 2016 to 2017. The American Psychological Association recorded a pattern that the LGBTQ plus community, specifically teens and high school girls, have been the largest number to commit suicide. And I think that a large contribution to this is because they feel lost and like they have no one to turn to. We move to the next point, being why do we see this as the second leading cause of death in young people? So many people attribute suicidal thoughts to mental health disorders like bipolar disease, depression, anxiety, other mental conditions, which are reasons that people will decide to kill themselves. However, it is not the only reason. I think that a lot of the reason that people do end their lives is because they feel hopeless and like they have nowhere to turn to, because we have run away from God and nobody wants to turn around their lives and surrender to Him. So instead, they just feel lost and hopeless and eventually decide to just end their lives, which is something that is sad. And I believe that as a Christ follower, we need to work through this together and develop a way to reach more people through this. So my third main point is that God has given us our lives to glorify Him and bring Him honor. So in Genesis 1:27, God created man in His own image, is what the wording says. God created us. It says 3 times that God created us. God created us in His image. God created us. He gave us male, He gave us female, but He did create us in His image. That's something that God just did by accident, or because, He just thought, well, I'll just do something because I'm bored. He gave us a life because He wants to have a relationship with us. He wants us to come to know Him, but He doesn't want to do it just by force. He wants us to choose to come to Him because He's a gracious and loving Father, and He created us to have a relationship with Him, which is a really beautiful thing. But because of sin, we have set ourselves apart from Him for the rest of creation. So it is a choice that we need to make to come back to Him. We need to remember also in Psalm 139:14, He says that it says, I praise You, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are my works. Wonderful are Your works. My soul knows it very well. So we need to keep in mind that because God gave us life, we should be using that life to honor him. And one of the ways we can do this is by being kind and showing his love to everyone else. So when we go out to church, out to the grocery store, just driving around, we shouldn't be, flying through traffic, just being rude, cutting people off. Like, that's not a way that we show God's love. Another thing is when we go to church and you immediately rush to your friends. It's nice to see your friends and have community with them, but we need to remember that there are other people there who also need our love and could be going through something hard. So, I just want us to remember that this is really something that is a problem, and us as a community of Christians need to work together to remember that there are people out there who are struggling and people out there who need our help. And as Christ followers, we should show the love of God to everyone through our actions and what we do. Thank you.